Okay, welcome back to Conversations with Neighbours. Today we're joined by Danny and Shai, the owners of Harbour Painting Co., one of York Region's most trusted painting companies, known for their motto of respect for you, respect for your home. Danny and Shai have built a business around professionalism, relationships, and results that truly transform spaces. With nearly 200 five-star Google reviews, that's a big deal. Harbour Painting has become the go-to choice for homeowners and businesses across York Region. In this episode, we'll talk about how Harbour Painting Co. got started, the values that set them apart, and why their clients say they're the cleanest painters in the business. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's a good intro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love doing the intros, Tom. That's becoming one of my favorite parts. So let's start with, how did Harbour Painting Co. get started? What inspired you to launch the business? Give me the origin story of how this all came to be.
So I grew up around the trades. So I had some family members who were in the trades, painting company and hardwood flooring company. And I always leaned into the sort of blue collar trade since I was a really little kid. Had neighborhood lawn mowing business, and that, grew until all the way through high school. So I always knew I was going to do something. I was just that entrepreneurial type person. And as I experienced other, lines of work throughout growing up in high school and whatnot, I guess I could say I fell back into painting. So I'd worked for my uncle's company for a while, on and off as a young kid. And then as, life takes its twists and turns, I ended up back in with him. And so once that got to a point where I was moving on with life, Shai and I got married when we, a little after we met, and I moved here. I'm not originally from Ontario, so I moved here after we got married, and it was like, it just made sense, with her family being in the real estate industry, and I just thought there was a really good opening for it to start here.
Yeah, so you were around all the trades, you kind of call it home service businesses, I guess.
Absolutely.
Right? So you get to kind of touch and feel and kind of experience all the different ones, but the connection to painting specifically through your uncle's business. And where are you from originally?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Connecticut.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I grew up, and then I moved around a few different places. Was in Florida, and that's where Shai and I met. And after some long distance dating and whatnot, we got married about a year later. And her family they were always saying to me, we really need a painter.
Yeah,
we need a painter so bad, and we have a hard time keeping a painter. We have they come in and they just kind of don't make us look good. They don't represent us well. So if you can, the ongoing joke still to this day was, if you can show up when you say you're going to and do half of what you say you're going to do, you're going to be successful. And I ran with it.
Yeah, for sure. And, I've talked to a lot of kind of service-based businesses, and it seems the ones that stand out just do exactly that. Kind of a trust and transparency of do what you say you're going to do, and actually show up. And, it seems like these little things, but really it's those little things that make the biggest difference, right? So when did the company start? What was the year?
Officially 2016.
Nice.
So we're coming up to a decade in business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Shai's always been involved, sort of in the early stages on the back end of it. And then, you can tell your side of the story too, but, about 5 years ago, I think, Shai stepped in and took on a huge role of basically running the company, right? As we grew and advanced and started adding more and more employees and sales team and all of this,
systems, processes, organization.
You got it.
That's my role.
Yeah. Where people lack. I don't do things I'm not good at. And once we got to a certain point, I wasn't good at it anymore. Not good enough, I should say.
You can only juggle so many balls. And so we got to a point where it was he really can't do what he's doing and keep the promises that he kind of started on, right? Yeah. So things were getting missed as far as maybe calling people back
Yeah.
or getting in touch with or whatever needed to be done, but he could only be so many places at once. And that was kind of what I was really good at. And so I was like, you stay doing what you're good at and I'll come in and fill in the other spots. And
Yeah,
here we
like
are.
you only have so much like time, energy, and capacity to handle it. And
Exactly.
at the beginning of like any real business, right, you could do like the full stack of it, right? But then you reach a certain scale, and that's when those things it's with growth that those things kind of get mixed. And that's when it's like, okay, now this is a real business now, right? Like there's other people involved in here, and it's once it reaches a scale where it can't be a single person show is like the real difference maker. And trust me, I'm not the operator. Like I'm not organized. I can't do any of that.
You're the visionary,
yeah,
right? You're the visionary.
That.
You're out meeting people and doing what you got to do. And that's
you need the implementers. You need
that's Shai 100%. Implementer and follow through.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like I can come up with all the great ideas and draw it all out and do all this stuff and do relationship kind of stuff. But when it comes to really just putting my head down and doing, the like finishing it, that's the part where I struggled. And we needed, we talked a lot about it. It's like we really need someone who is this type A person who can really get this stuff done, follow through with my crazy ideas, and make the machine really run well. And that's her 100%.
How has it been like running a business together, right? Obviously it's going to have ups and downs, but it seems that you both know kind of your roles and your areas of expertise and mastery. So maybe it's just a perfect split, but what's it been like?
That's kind of what makes it work, is like he has his lane and I have mine, and we stay out of each other's way. We established that very early on, but I come from a long line of partner entrepreneurs, like husband and wife partnerships. Luckily, Danny was on board with the idea, but to me, it was just normal. You work with your spouse and you make it work, and that's that. So it just seemed, it wasn't part of our plan when we first met, but it seemed very natural to flow into that.
Yeah.
There has to be a lot of trust involved, right? And you have to understand the strong suits, strengths and weaknesses. And I was very aware of what my weaknesses are, and was quite aware of what she was really good at. And it works both in our business and at home. Yeah. And so once we said we agree, like, we'll stay in our lanes. There might be some, not disagreements, but of course, when you're in business together, one might not really love an idea, or there might be a little pushback, and we work through it real fast and understand what we're here to do, and we get it done. Yeah. And it works out really well.
Yeah. I personally like working together with my wife. I like the harmoniousness of like life and work integrated together, rather than like, you go over here and you do your thing and then we meet up at home type thing. I don't know. This is just how I've really enjoyed it too. And I feel like it's a similar relationship with my wife and me. Like she gets stuff done.
The key is to try to turn it off at home. I think that's the key. It took us a while. And I don't think we're perfect at it. We still talk about it at home.
We just have kids interrupting us. That's the only way it stops.
But what's cool about it, and I've noticed this is, and because I grew up around it too, I listened a lot to the conversations going on. And our oldest son is very much knowledgeable of our business. Yeah. And he knows, and he asks questions, and he questions our decisions sometimes on what we're doing, whether it be with employees or customers or how we handle situations. Yeah. So I think him being able, there's benefit to that too, but we try to keep it as low key as possible because it's their time.
Yeah, for sure. They are a good interrupter, like
no kidding. Yeah, especially when they're curious individuals.
Yeah. So your brand is built on respect for you, respect for your home. Like, what does that mean in practice, in real terms?
That's a great question. I think the whole cleanliness thing is a big part of it, but really respect is, in my opinion, is it starts with our employees, as we respect all of our employees as to the highest level, and try to get to know them. And I think that trickles down into our customers. And respect for the customer is, in my opinion, for instance, when we go out to do a consultation with them, not telling them how things are going to get done, but actually listening to them and getting an understanding of what it is that they want done. And I think that's where, over my years of being in the home service and being in sales and dealing with people, I think that's where there's a lot of issues that people have with contractors. It's because they want one thing, but they're being told and directed in a different way. And I think when it comes to the respect, that's a big part of it, is really understanding what you want and then kind of building our scope or building what our plan, whatever it is, around you.
Yeah.
And so that, and then being in your home and you really understanding that when we come into your home or your place of business, whatever it is, we're going to do the same thing consistently to make sure that your place is taken care of as best as we possibly could. Understanding if you have small children at home, that we have to respect your time frames. If that means you're not out the door until 8:30, we usually show up around 8:30. But if that means, you can't be having anybody working in your home till 8:30, we're going to make sure that we're there for about 8:30 and start to get going and wait till you're out of your home. Making sure we keep the house spotless all the time, not leaving tools out everywhere. So there's a lot of different levels, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think respect is the core word for it, because it can trickle down into so many different aspects of it. And, as you said, like with your employees, right? I think you nailed it, where how you treat your employees, where, you're the owners and you're the boss and you're like, oh yeah, they work for us, but really you're working for your employees, right? And it's like how you treat them and how you're going to get the most out of them too, right? Like, and these is just, as people, as individuals, is what they want. They want that respect, right? They don't want to be like talked down doing what to do. They want to be heard, right? And then that goes over to customers, right? Where it's like, you're working for the customer, so you want to be able to listen to them and adjust what would be like, no, this is how we do it. Then this is the way we do it, and that's it. Rather than be like, oh no, I understand. Like you said, you got little kids and the one wouldn't get out of bed, so they're running out, and now it's 8:47.
Chaos in the home.
We get it. Like a renovation is hard to live through, and although painting is usually like a minor part of that renovation, we try and make it as easy as possible, right? Like people are always, like, you can see in our Google reviews, like they're amazed at how our crews leave their home at the end of the day. Like, we're going to be there for a week, say, but you're not going to feel us there every night. Like, we're going to be there in the day. We're going to take over what we need to. But at the end of the day, we've got a tiny little spot where our stuff is, and then we'll be back in the morning and we won't interrupt your life, right? So they're shocked at that. They vacuum, they sweep, like they're amazing.
Yeah, they care.
They do care.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is what we see in the home service industry, especially like harder trades, painting and framing, carpentry, you get a lot of turnover, and we have people that come and go over the years, but our core base of our company is anywhere from people who've been with us for almost, I think, going on 6 years or 7 years, down to like 3, and then we have some, new guys who are always starting, new guys and women. And we just had actually a new lady start today, and today's her first day in working in the company. But I think that right there is really important, and people knowing that, oh my gosh, okay, so you have people who have actually grown with this company, who understand the core values, who understand how we operate, and our crew leaders who run each project, they have a system and how they enter your home, how they talk with you before the job starts, and so that you guys are on the same page. And it happens every single job the same time, over and over again.
Yeah. And that's the best part of like having those long-term employees, that they can instill the company values and how you do work and how jobs get done, where it's not like up to you every time to be watching over the new employee, it's embedded into the company culture of it, right?
We talk about it a lot, like all our company meetings, our crew meetings, monthly meetings, it's talked about all the time. And how we operate just going into someone's home. Yeah. And while we're there, what do we do?
Yeah.
Right.
I think we've touched on a bunch of it, but maybe just to say, why do you think you always can get repeat customers or customers that refer you to other customers? I think it's a lot of what we just discussed of how you execute the job and, kind of care, but maybe just a couple words onto why people recommend you, why people refer you, and why people keep calling you to come back.
I think it's the whole experience. I think, the minute maybe you see our advertising or you call into our office, it's a different feel than the random painter that you've had done before, right? So we're great at what we do, but we also provide an amazing experience that blows people away, that they want to hire us again and they want to tell their friends.
Yeah. They're simple things, but kind of hard to do, right? Or hard to do consistently over a long period of time, right? And it's like you got to constantly drive it home, but it's those things that make the biggest difference, right?
Yeah.
And no business sucks if you just got to keep getting new customers all the time, because you got to keep your customers, you got to increase lifetime value of them. And you guys, you do a range from interior, cabinet, exterior.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the most popular services going on right now? Give me, the range of offerings. What are you seeing people are getting done?
Well, I think we do lots of exterior painting, and I think people will find that there's not a lot of painters who, especially professional companies, who do a lot of exterior painting. They might do some small stuff, maybe a deck or some low stuff. But once you get into some of these more technical homes and elevations and stuff, it becomes something that a lot of guys don't want to do, or don't find that they're really good at, and it's not worth it to them. Whereas we've been doing that for a long time and we do it really well. So we do a lot of that, of course, interior painting, that's just a given. But then we have our cabinet division. And I say division because it's actually a separate group of people within the company.
Specialists.
Yeah.
It's refinishing specialists who only do cabinetry.
Yeah. So they don't intertwine. They don't go on job sites in someone's home and pick up a brush or spray some trim or something. They stay in our shop. We've got a group of people who are in the shop doing just doors and panels. And then we've got another group of people who are out actually in your home doing the on-site portion of it. So, it's become a really popular thing for a lot of other painters to do over the years because for many reasons. It's an economical option, things. We've been doing it almost since day one. So I've been doing it a lot longer than it's been sort of trendy and popular. But it's grown to a very large portion of our company, and the work that these guys put out is pretty amazing. So
yeah, it's a different thing, right? Refinishing something, right? You got to have the people that are building mastery in that one specific thing, right? Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, it's paint. No.
Our interior, exterior painters, if you ask them to go in there and do it, they're a fish out of water. They won't do it.
Yeah.
No.
Often
I don't want
customers
them to.
will do a cabinet refinish, and then we'll do the interior of, say, their kitchen. And they're like, well, while they're here, can they just paint the walls? I'm like, these are two totally different people.
You don't want them painting your walls.
No, and vice versa.
Yeah, you want them doing the reps in the one specific thing, right? So that's how you get really good at stuff. And when you were talking about exterior painting, of how other companies or contractors don't necessarily want to do it, I was just thinking there's no hiding a bad job if you're painting exterior.
Exactly.
You're gonna have every neighbor and everyone driving by being like,
you don't want to be the talk.
This job.
You don't want to be the talk of the neighborhood for the wrong reasons, right? You want to be the talk for the right reasons. People stopping by and saying, "Wow, you guys, your house looks so beautiful."
Yeah.
Not people walking by whispering to each other.
Yeah, it's
not saying anything to you.
On the inside of the house, it's someone does a shoddy job. You're like, oh, well, no one's really coming in here anyways, right? But
is the painting finished?
Yeah.
So it's just like anything else, we've seen some really great work done and some really not so good stuff. And I think the other element of it too is why it's so beneficial. Why we see a lot of exterior painting is because at the end of the day, you can go to Home Depot, buy a brush and a roller and maybe a step ladder and some paint and attempt to paint the interior of your house, like a bedroom or something, and be like, okay, I'm okay with it. It's livable. But you're not going out and getting a 32-foot ladder and going up and figuring out how to paint all the siding or soffit. Or it's really challenging and complicated. And so I think that's why, we do so much exterior painting, is because it's not really a DIY thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it is, if people do decide to do it as a DIY project, it usually doesn't end in them completing the job. They're calling and they're like, we have this whole section that's 40 feet up and we don't know how to do it, or we painted over all our windows. There's so many things. So
pretty much a decade in business. Is there any memorable projects that you can think of off the top of your head? I don't know, like a crazy house or like a unique place that you went to, or I don't know, something memorable.
I already know what he's going to say.
Yeah. I think the most memorable and the one that we're proud of all of our projects, but to be in a part of a project that is so iconic is the Sharon Temple in East Gwillimbury, in Sharon there.
Yeah.
So we did that, I think, in 2018, I believe. We were awarded the project to do the exterior of it. And it was a full-on restoration, not just going out and painting, putting some paint on. It was full-on. This is a almost 200-year-old building. The paint is failing tremendously on it, and it needs to be restored into a sound surface that's going to last us for, at least another 10, 15 years before we have to do any sort of maintenance on it again.
That's a sweet project.
It was pretty memorable.
Yeah.
And to have a part in history like that, people don't realize it. Like, it's a big iconic building in our town, but all of Ontario and even Canada, because of the meaning behind it and what it represents, it's a really big deal. So I
feel like Danny was almost more excited and kind of like, understood the importance of the building more than I did. I was born and raised in Sharon. Like, I drove past it every day on the way to school my whole life. So it kind of just like blended into me. And then when he was awarded the job and we went and there was like a little press gathering and things, and I kind of sat there in the stands and I was like, wow, like this is actually a big deal, right? And so now every year they have the Halloween event.
Yeah.
And so we bring our kids and like Danny goes and he like touches the exterior and he's like, it's
Gotta
still good,
sure. Gotta make sure.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, I grew up in Queensville and I drove by that every day. I went to elementary school in Sheridan and I was like, but I had no idea the true significance of it till Neighbor Media. And we went there and they were educating us on the whole building and the history behind it. And we went to some special event there too. And it was my first time ever like being up close to it. I'm like, this is a beautiful structure. Like, it's like...
But I feel like when we were young, they didn't do stuff there. It was just kind of this like closed off building. You could maybe have a wedding, but like now they're really trying to encourage the town to use it and be a part of the grounds and stuff.
They do a great job there.
Yeah.
You don't realize how big that building is until you stand up.
Until you have to paint it.
Until you stand up and you look at the first story.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how many feet up the first story is. It's got to be about close to 40. And you look up. Wow.
Yeah.
Building that has 20 windows on one side is a lot.
Yeah.
Just each side. I think it's about 80 feet or 90 feet to the top. And we touched every square inch of it. It's pretty awesome. Then we did the interior too.
It's amazing.
So that was probably the most iconic. We've done some other really cool like historical buildings around in Newmarket. We've done a lot of historical buildings or homes. In the old downtown Newmarket area. Yeah,
those heritage homes.
Yeah.
They care a lot about those ones too.
They do. The heritage
we have like a following of like heritage homeowners. It's cool. We like being a part of those things. Like, we love being a part of all of people's projects.
Of course.
But especially like some really unique ones, or, some people paint their kitchens really fun colors. Like, we've done a bright pink kitchen. And like, it just kind of sticks with you, the ones that are unique.
Yeah, the outlier projects for
exactly.
sure. Yeah. And I was looking, and you have just under 200 5-star Google reviews, which is very, very impressive. I'm always impressed by one, like high quality ones, but as well like that number, because it says a lot about the company, because that means you even go and ask for a review, which also tells me a lot of like how much you believe in the work that gets done, because lots of people, they don't want to go ask for it because they don't believe it's going to come back good. what does that kind of reputation, customer feedback mean to you, the company, the employees, as a collective, to see that social proof?
I think, especially now in today's day and age where we're such a digital, our lifestyle,
Yeah.
a lot of decisions are made based on it. So I think it gives us a lot of credibility, anybody who does it. And you're right. Asking for it is the hardest part because you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, we have a pretty good idea based on how the project goes, but something to point out is a lot of people, when I bring this up in our consultation that we have, these Google reviews and did you check us out there? So many people are skeptical about them today because people abuse it.
Yeah.
We don't. I always tell people, listen, we've been in business for 10 years. I have just under 200 reviews. If I did it the wrong way or purchasing that, I would have thousands.
Yes.
Thousands. But I don't. And it's really difficult to get people to do it. You got to get them in the moment. But I think the significance of them, once people really see and they see consistency of what the same people, that even their neighbors, a lot of people know each other on there, that they see and they're like, oh, the cleanliness, the professionalism. We name our employees, right? So we have our crew leader, it's their responsibility to get the review. So it's their responsibility to run the project really well and make sure that, they satisfy you. And we just say, if you feel as though we've done a 5-star or a 3-star, whatever it is, we want your feedback. It's really important to us, and they get rewarded for, when they get reviews and stuff. And so we mention their name because, again, in the culture, and we want to build trust with the public. So people start to request people's name, like when they read all these reviews and they see, specific names mentioned in it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we really want this person on our project. Can you make sure? Like, have you been following us? Oh no, we see them in your Google reviews.
Yeah.
So that's they're powerful and impactful.
Yeah. And I think that's important too for, the employees as well too, to have that ownership on the project.
They know.
Where it's like, one, they're going in for the ask too, and two, they're going to be named as well, right? It's their reputation as well as part of the company too. So I think both
their mission, that's their mission. And of course we start it, we tell them, that we want the Google review, but they know that how big of a deal it is. And so they go in with a mission of, I'm going to get a 5-star review. And because it's pride of their work.
Yeah.
So there's many other benefits to it, but it's, I think, culturally and just the building that sort of trust and connection with the public. I think those are the two probably most important
for sure
aspects of it.
So you guys are rolling now, right? You're coming up to 10 years. Like, what's next for the company? What's the vision for, 5 years, 10 years? Just keep doing what you're doing, head down, and let the compound effects come? Or do you have a grand vision?
You can go. We have a couple different visions for it, but
we want to keep growing the company, but we want to do it at a rate that we still have something left to give to our kids and our family, as far as like emotionally, like physically, like just a little bit left to give to your family, not put all of our energy into our business. On the other hand, we want to grow it as much as we can so that we can continue to employ great people and help them develop and build their families and stuff like that. Like, one of our guys who's been with us for 7 years, who Danny spoke about, has a 2-year-old and just had twins. And it's cool to be able to, give him some time off to be with his wife and his kids. And like, we're just a big family. So we just want to keep growing and building the business to keep enabling other people to do that too.
Yeah. Like, I think that's a key element. Growth, but balanced, right? And it's more enjoyable to grow that way rather than be like, oh, let's just go like crazy. And
we've
and
had
then
a few years where we just went like crazy.
Yeah.
And then every year we do a business plan and we reflect, and it's like, okay, that was great. The revenue went like this, but like, what was our life like, or the quality of different things. And so you have to, I don't believe there really ever is a balance, but you have to try and strive to have that.
Yeah. Not balance, harmony. That's what it is. And I think that's another benefit of, working together, right? From a business standpoint and a home life too, where it's you both are seeing the full picture of it, right? It's you're not just like you over here building the business and then it's like there could be a disconnect that way where it could be fully integrated now into what you want to go and achieve, but how you want to go ahead and achieve it too.
Yeah. We're both in it. Right, we're both in it, so we both know what we're sort of feeling on a day to day. We deal with the same people and similar, day to day tasks and issues and things like that. So we kind of understand where our minds are at, which is helpful, I guess, in the home. But also we can really collaborate on what our visions are for the future. And I think it's really like Shai said, is growing to employ more really great people. There's a lot of great people that are in our area that we haven't met yet, and who can do a lot for us, and we can do a lot for them, right? And give people opportunity to have just a great life. It's hard. This is a hard industry to be in, and to do anything in the trades. And we want to be able to fulfill people's, I guess you can say dreams maybe, or just their idea of a lifestyle, and not just be beaten down, and have the time off, have the benefits, and have, we do a lot of stuff like that where there's extra benefits and medical and things like that. So that people's families don't feel so tight all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's a big part of it, and at the end of the day, like my vision is to be the household name, or the name in every household, to when they're looking for a painter, or when you want to refer a painting company, that Harbor Painting is the one that's talked about at the dinner table, or, when you're out back having a beer and a fire. Yeah,
for sure. I'm just thinking of the employee. We were talking about kids before we started.
The twins?
The two and then a twins.
Man. Yeah.
So he has 3 under 2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. When he told us, I just said, I'm so sorry. You're going to get through it, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Twins.
Right?
He's managing. He's our project manager now, so he knows how to manage.
He does. He does.
That's good.
If anyone can do it, they can.
That's Rich, and a lot of people have been able to experience projects with Rich. He started in our cabinet division and really helped grow it to where it is now, and then he was promoted to project manager this year. So if anybody can handle it, I think it's him.
Yeah. Shout out Rich.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with a quick rapid fire to close it up here.
Okay.
Go-to paint color. We'll go with interior, and maybe selfishly I'm going to do this because I'm building a house right now. And,
let's do it.
And for context, we're going like Arctic white, black windows on the exterior.
Cool.
Inside, go-to paint color.
It's all Shai.
Yeah.
I would probably say white dove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the name.
It just goes with everything. It's like a nice warm white, not too stark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. On the other hand, like my whole house is white dove, and it has been for years. And I'm like, oh, what can we add some color in here?
The perfect thing about like a paint like that, though, is you can do like any type of accents in all these other different creative ways.
Exactly.
It's like a great canvas for the other.
We've got a green kitchen, so it works with our white walls.
Yeah.
What's harder, painting cabinets or exteriors?
Cabinets.
Yeah, I would say
I've never done either, but I'll throw my 2 cents in.
I think they both have their challenges. I would say probably painting exteriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say painting exteriors because for us we really can systematize, or we have our cabinet sort of production. So once you master that, it's repetitive. But on the exterior, there's so many nuances and so many different challenges.
Yeah.
That I'd say exterior painting takes the cake.
Yeah, the variability of the exterior. Are you coffee or tea drinkers?
I'm coffee 100%.
I'm both. I start with the coffee and I finish with the tea.
Yeah, coffee for me is life.
What's your binge watch show right now?
Got through everything.
Yeah.
The Summer I Turned Pretty was great, but he won't watch it with me, so it took me weeks to get through it. I don't know.
We loved Bosch.
Oh,
Bosch
yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Love Bosch. Yeah, that was a good one.
Are you team Conrad or Jeremiah?
I want someone new. I'm sick of the argument between the two.
Favorite season to paint? Spring, summer, fall, or winter?
That's a tough one. because spring and fall are both, I'd say fall is probably pretty awesome. Summer is really great too, but it has its challenges. They all do. They're really hard. You mean for exterior painting or in general?
General.
In general, I'd say summer is probably the best. But yeah, for exterior painting, end of spring, beginning of fall.
Yeah, for sure. It's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Do you do exterior painting in the winter?
No.
No, I was gonna say like
it's really tough. It's really, and I mean, in the winter, no, not at all. But like last year, our exterior painting season, because we had such a long fall or summer, however you want to call it, I think we went right into November.
Yeah,
safely, right? Hopefully this year will be good because we got a lot of exteriors left to do.
Yeah, I feel like winter's kind of shifting here in Canada. It really starts like December, really gets going in January.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a shorter, more intense.
Then the back part of that, the tough part is that winter lasts longer.
Yeah.
So now our spring startup is very unpredictable.
Yeah. waiting for the weather to turn.
Yeah.
One word clients use the most to describe Harbor Painting Co.
Professional.
Communication.
Love it. Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
If anyone needs painting, interior, exterior cabinets, you know who to call. We'll put it in the show notes. Thank you again.
Thank
awesome.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.